I earned my degree online at Arizona State University. I chose to get my degree at ASU because I knew that I'd get a quality education, they were recognized for excellence, and that I would be prepared for the workforce upon graduating. To be associated with ASU, both as a student and alum, it makes me extremely proud, and having experienced the program, I know now that I'm set up for success. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
There's nothing quite like seeing a young team climb up the ranks in the NBA, is there? I mean, 1 minute they're rebuilding, the next, boom, they're right there. Fortunes change fast. Today, we're going to do a deep dive into exactly that. We're looking at the Houston Rockets, their journey from, well, a full rebuild to basically being on the edge of contention. And, you can't really talk about the Rockets' big plans without getting into the Kevin Durant stuff. Those rumors just keep swirling around.
Right. So our mission for you today is really to cut through all that noise. We're going to distill the key insights from the sources we've looked at. We'll cover the Rockets' path, those persistent KD rumors, and what it might actually mean if a move like that happened. This is all as of June 28, 2025. Just to be clear, the goal is to give you the core understanding, quick and clear.
Exactly. Think of it as your shortcut. You listen to this, you'll be properly informed on what's honestly one of the most interesting storylines in the league right now. So let's start with the Rockets themselves. It's been a really calculated path, hasn't it? From the bottom right up to the edge of the playoffs. You can see the shift.
Oh, absolutely. Under Ime Udoka, and you got to credit the front office, too. This roster hasn't just been thrown together. It's been, meticulously crafted. They're blending that young talent with some key veterans. And the 2024-2025 season, you likely saw them take some pretty big steps forward, really embracing that tough defensive style Udoka wants.
Okay, so when you look at that young core, who really stands out as, foundational, how do they fit together to make this new Rockets identity?
That's a great question. It's definitely about the synergy now, not just individual guys. Take Alperen Sengun. He's not just a center. He's like this offensive hub in the post. His playmaking, it's rare for a big man. It forces defenses to completely change how they play Houston, opens things up for everyone else. That's foundational. Then there's Jabari Smith Jr. He's really grown into that versatile forward role. Better shooting, switchable defense. That's so crucial today. And Amen Thompson, super athletic guard, incredible passer, rebounds like crazy for his position, and the defense is already there. You see a future two-way star. Those three especially, they just offer this really interesting mix of skills that seem to work well together.
And you've also got guys like Tari Eason bringing that energy, that defense, and Reed Shepherd, the recent draft pick, potentially adding shooting depth in the backcourt. But it's not just the young guys driving this, right? The veterans were key.
Totally essential. Dillon Brooks, particularly, he's been the template for the younger players. That intensity on defense, the leadership, even just embracing his specific role, that sets a standard. It shows the young core what winning basketball looks like. And we can't forget Jalen Green. Yeah, there have been some trade rumors here and there, but his development, his scoring punch, that's still a major factor for their ceiling. He's definitely part of the plan.
Right, so the typical starting five looks like Sengun, Smith Jr., Thompson, Green, and Brooks. Obviously, injuries, matchups, things can change that. Maybe Eason steps in sometimes, but that's the main group. So with that setup and this clear direction, here's where it gets really interesting. How aggressive are they willing to be now? What about those assets?
Well, everything points towards them being pretty aggressive, wanting to jump past the final stages of the rebuild. They're not just aiming for the playoffs. They seem to want to make some real noise, maybe even challenge teams like the Warriors. And this is where those draft picks come in. All those picks they gathered, especially the unprotected firsts from Brooklyn, from the Harden deal, those are massive assets. Huge leverage for building the roster or, making a massive trade.
And yeah, that pile of assets is exactly what fuels all the talk, all the whispers. Specifically about Kevin Durant, the idea of KD to Houston. It just won't go away, will it?
Nope. It's remarkably persistent. And just to set the stage, as of our report date, June 28, 2025, KD is still with the Phoenix Suns, playing alongside Booker and Beal. But what keeps these Houston rumors alive, it isn't just wishful thinking. It's this specific convergence. It's Houston's strategy, their assets, lining up with maybe a point where Phoenix might have to consider things.
That's the really interesting part for me. It's not just, hey, let's get a star. It feels more targeted, like a specific window might open.
Yeah.
So based on the sources, what are the actual reasons this KD to Houston idea keeps coming up?
Okay, two main things, really. First, Durant himself. He's a generational scorer, right? His shooting, his length, clutch play. You add him, your team's championship odds just skyrocket instantly. He's one of those guys. Second, it's the Rockets situation. They have the cap space flexibility. And crucially, they have that war chest of draft picks we talked about, those Nets picks especially. That combination gives them the ammo, theoretically at least, to put together the kind of blockbuster package that very few other teams could even attempt for a player like Durant.
Okay, so let's be crystal clear then. Despite all the smoke, all the talk,
Yeah.
did Kevin Durant get traded to the Rockets?
No. Plain and simple. As of June 28, 2025, Kevin Durant has not been traded to the Houston Rockets. The Suns, look, they've kept their core together. They're trying to win too. And believe me, if a deal that big actually happens, you'll hear it from the major insiders first, guys like Shams Charania. It won't just be whispers.
Still,
Yeah.
you can see the appeal, right? Durant in a Rockets jersey. Wow. The thought alone makes you imagine this huge power shift in the West. What would the actual benefits be for Houston if, hypothetically, this trade happened?
Oh, the benefits would be huge and immediate. First off, offense. Durant's scoring makes them a top-tier offensive team overnight. Imagine him alongside Sengun's postgame, Smith's versatility, Thompson's athleticism. It fits really well. But it's more than just points. He brings that star power, that championship pedigree, remember his Warriors titles, that kind of experience mentoring the young core. It would accelerate everything. It makes their ceiling way higher right now. Think about a starting five. Amen Thompson, Jalen Green, Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith Jr., Alperen Sengun. I mean, that's got length, shooting, defense, so many ways to score. Really tough matchup.
And it signals something too, right?
Yep.
It's not just, let's make the playoffs. Getting KD means the pressure is on. Championship or bust pretty much immediately. But that kind of immediate jump, it comes with a massive price tag, doesn't it? What would Houston realistically have to give up?
Oh, substantial. Absolutely substantial. You're talking significant draft capital, likely a lot of those valuable Brooklyn picks. And probably some of their young players too, though you'd assume they'd fight hard to keep Sengun, Smith, and Thompson. And then there's Durant's contract, his max deal. So yeah, it's a huge gamble. A calculated risk, definitely. Do you push all your chips in now, or do you stick with the slower, maybe more sustainable build? That's the question.
You know, all this constant KD news and just NBA trade buzz in general, it really does show how much star players drive everything in the league today.
It really does. Teams are always trying to figure out how to get or keep that top-level talent. It's essential to compete. You see similar discussions around other stars, too, like Giannis Antetokounmpo. Every move Milwaukee makes is viewed through that lens.
It makes you think of guys like Pat Riley, maybe not involved here, but that whole philosophy of just relentlessly chasing star power. It seems like that's often the blueprint for teams trying to break through. Be bold.
Exactly. And you see from the other side, too, like how Phoenix's own trade talks are often about optimizing around their stars, KD, Booker, Beal, trying to maximize their window. It's the central challenge for so many front offices.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. To summarize, the Houston Rockets have made it pretty clear they're done with the label rebuilding. They've put together this really interesting roster built around Sengun, Smith Jr., Amen Thompson. Strong foundation.
Yeah, and those persistent Kevin Durant rumors, they really highlight just how ambitious the Rockets are. They seem willing to accelerate things, maybe even skip a few steps to get back into real championship contention.
And even though that KD trade hasn't happened again, as of late June 2025, the fact that people are talking about it so seriously tells you a lot about how far the Rockets have come and how they're positioned to potentially make a massive move if the opportunity arises.
So here's something for you, the listener, to think about. What is that right balance for a team? How much do you lean into patient development versus taking that huge swing, that calculated gamble for immediate contention? Especially when it's a player like Kevin Durant potentially on the table. What would you give up if you were the GM for that shot at the title right now?